Welcome to a Kansas City native's guide to Disney barbecue.
We're gonna go to 3 of the most popular Disney barbecue restaurants.
Are there other barbecue restaurants at Disney?
Well, no. But there are other places you can get barbecue food. But these places are dedicated, theoretically, to barbecue.
Well, that's what I was saying. We are discussing the 3 Disney barbecue restaurants. Until the new one opens up at Toy Story Land, Woody's Roundup Barbecue. Not open yet, no date announced. Supposed to be soon.
I've heard that one before from Disney.
Yeah, Tron was supposed to open 3 years ago too, so maybe 2 years. Anyway. So currently 3 quote-unquote barbecue restaurants at Disney.
Now, we are barbecue snobs. I was raised in Kansas City, arguably the barbecue capital of the world, where there are more barbecue restaurants per person than any other place in the world. And I was raised eating barbecue, so I think I'm a pretty good judge. So we're gonna go to these places and we're gonna tell you what we think are the best.
First, you should probably know, Art was born and raised in Kansas City. I lived there for probably 20 years before we moved down here, a little longer than that maybe. Lots of different barbecue types and restaurants up there. You can get out of somebody's smoker in the backyard all the way to a pretty fine dining. I mean, like tablecloths and everything.
Ooh, tablecloths.
That's a big deal for Kansas City barbecue, just so you know.
Yeah, we pretty much prefer greasy floors and old gas stations.
Speak for yourself, I love Jack Stack. But really, Kansas City, different regions have their own styles. But Kansas City is a stockyard city, and so basically if it's meat and some vegetables, they'll smoke it for you. And we're not talking about high heat, grill it, sear it quickly. This is low and slow, 12 hours.
Which is what barbecue is.
Right.
That is grilling.
So we have got a lot of background to compare these 3 restaurants to. We are here at Epcot. We have finally found the time, made the time, whatever, to go to Regal Eagle Smokehouse. We've been talking about trying it ever since it opened. Regal Eagle is where the old, oh, what was that? It was a burger joint here in America, and it was so forgettable. I can't even remember the name.
It was nothing special. And they haven't really changed the interior very much. They've put in new tables, which aren't all that impressive. The decor is minimal, to say the least. It's
kind of brick industrial.
Yeah, it's based on the Muppets and Sam Eagle, but it's really hard to tell that. There's some American bunting, and it's not incredible.
Well, the American bunting, it is in the American Adventure still, so that makes sense.
It's very, very loud.
That has not changed at all.
Brick walls, tile floors.
Metal feet on the tables and chairs.
You're not going to hold a whole lot of close conversations with that without really raising your voice.
Now, the old one had a fountain in the middle. I'm not sure if that was better or worse. It's gone now to put in more tables. So more people talking, no water to talk over.
I got the brisket sandwich with fries, and we split an order of onion rings.
The brisket sandwich comes on 2 pieces of garlic toast. It is $13.49. I got the North Carolina chopped smoked pork butt platter. It is $12.99. It also comes with 1 side, so I got they call them baked beans with burnt ends. If you're not from Kansas City or you know your barbecue, you may not know what burnt ends are, but that's what you shave off the end of the brisket when you're slicing it. They now make pork burnt ends, but those are really not burnt ends.
They're not burnt ends. I don't know what they are, but they're not burnt ends. My brisket sandwich, the brisket was very smoky. It was definitely smoked. It was okay. The portions here are very small for what you get.
Tiny. Again, we're coming down from barbecue country, but these are really small even for Disney. They said they were going to be making smaller portions. I hope that's all they've done, because if this is how they started, I don't know how they're still running this restaurant. They were really, really small.
The brisket was okay, not fabulous. The flavor was very smoky, which is nice. They offer a plethora of different sauces. The best one I thought on the brisket, very surprisingly, was the brisket sauce. It's sort of a peppery, vinegary kind of Bryant's reminiscent, but not quite. Oh, Bryant's is a barbecue restaurant in Kansas City that's very famous.
One of the classics. The presidents have gone there.
But it's not Bryant's sauce either, so it's okay. The rings were very good.
They're good diner drive-in onion rings. Your basic onion rings, sweet onions, they're good.
The fries were
Disney fries.
yeah, Disney fries, which is almost always good.
Fantastic. The sauces included sweet mustard, which is more of a Carolina sauce. Then they talked about a classic smokehouse, which I thought would be more of the sweet molasses southern style. There were no sweet sauces. The baked beans had no sweetness whatsoever. Couldn't really taste the burnt ends. They were just kind of flat, one note. You could taste some spice of some sort. And I kind of had the same problem with my pulled pork. The smoked pulled pork was tender, it was nicely cooked. You could taste the smoke, but there was some sort of weird spicing in there that there was some heat, but you couldn't say, oh, that's black pepper, or, oh, that's cayenne, or oh, that's jalapeno. It was just flat heat. So the sweet mustard sauce helped a lot, but it really only made it edible. Honestly, I don't think I could have eaten it if we hadn't had the sweet mustard sauce to help temper some of that weird one note flavor. So, not gonna be back.
No, I'm not really all that impressed. I'm glad we went.
Yes.
I've been wondering what it was like. I know what it's like. I have no desire to go back.
Nope. Our first stop on our barbecue tour was the Regal Eagle. We were not impressed. We've actually been to Flametree BBQ before, but we've never talked about it. So we're here at Flametree. If you've never been, Flametree has no indoor seating, but they have huge amounts of shaded pavilions all down along the lake right across from Everest. So you might very well hear people screaming on this video. It's not the food. We decided to get the ribs and chicken combo so we could try both of those. You can get a half chicken or St. Louis rib dinner or this combo. It's $15.69. You get a quarter chicken, some ribs, signature baked beans, and coleslaw. We decided to get onion rings instead of the baked beans because I got baked beans with mine, which is the smoked pulled pork sandwich. $11.49 gets you a sandwich with topped with coleslaw and served with the baked beans. We also got an order of French fries because you can't really have barbecue without French fries, not in a sandwich especially. Those are $4.49 for a side. Okay, so their pulled pork is served dry. There's no sauce. Very smoky. You can still taste the pork through, which is what you want. Barbecue aficionados like ourselves know it's not just smoke. You don't want to be like chewing on a briquette. You want to be able to taste the meat. And they do pretty well here. That's pretty good. I do like sauce on mine, so I wish there were sauce. I'm probably gonna eat mine with some of the beans. Oh! Art carried the tray down. I didn't realize they do have sauce. So let's see if it's my kind of sauce. Open your eyes! Pretty close. I definitely do the southern brown sugar barbecue sauce. I like the sweet stuff. This is pretty close. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Okay, now I'm going to try a little of the pork sandwich. It's Elizabeth's sandwich, but we share it. Not too bad. It's not as flavorful as I would like it, but it's certainly a good sandwich. Now I'm going to try the beans. We've heard mixed reports on how good they are. Not too bad, not overly sweet, a little more on the Texas style. I can eat these. These aren't too bad. I like them.
Definitely more Texas. You taste the peppers in there, the green pepper, I think. A little bit of onion. I have to say, I mean, it's a fairly sweet sauce in there, but you definitely taste the veggies. My favorite comes from Jack Stack Barbecue in Kansas City. They use pounds of brisket in their beans. They're very sweet and thick and smoky. These are not bad beans, but they're not Jack Stack. They're not bad. That's meat.
Oh, they do have meat in them.
I told you they're meaty. They're very meaty beans. Just pulled pork though.
Well, now for the slaw. It's a pretty ordinary looking slaw. It's got a little carrot in it. Mostly it's cabbage, which is nice. We'll see how the dressing works.
It doesn't look like it's a shredded cabbage slaw.
It's really pretty ordinary. Yeah, there's not a lot of tang to it, which is fine, but if you're expecting a little tangier taste to the dressing, it's not there. It's not overly sweet. It's okay. One thing about it though is at least on this plate, they were pretty stingy on it. They didn't give me a whole lot. So if you want to clean your palate after barbecue with coleslaw, there isn't a lot of it here to do it with. I'm going to try the chicken. As you can see, we've got white meat and a wing. So that's my quarter chicken. I think I would have rather had a leg or a thigh, but you get what you get. That's actually some pretty good barbecued chicken. I like that. I'm glad I got it. On to the St. Louis style ribs. Now, St. Louis style is actually a cut. I'm not going to put down the fact that they say St. Louis, although we all know that the very best barbecue comes from Kansas City.
Where they will barbecue anything.
In Texas, they have their brisket. In Memphis, they have their ribs. In the Carolinas, they do pork shoulders. In Kansas City, if it stays still long enough, they'll barbecue it. And if you want to know where the best place to get barbecue is in Kansas City, well, that's a good way to start a fight in Kansas City. So I'm going to try this. I like the chicken. It's barbecue, so it's not grilling. It's low and slow. And look, there's on the ribs, there's even a smoke ring. That's actually not too bad. I wish it had a little more smoky flavor to it, but so often people overcook ribs, and these still have a little bite to them. They're delicious. I like these. I'm really kind of happy with Flametree. I'm almost a little surprised.
I think the only time I've had their onion rings is on top of the mac and cheese with pulled pork, which by the way is yummy. We haven't had it here. We had it over at 8 Spoon Cafe, but it's the same. It's just a bigger portion here. So we'll see. I don't like onions a lot. I don't like raw ones at all, but dip them in batter and fry them, right? Nice and crunchy. Could be hotter. It's a nice sweet onion in there. That's a pretty good onion ring. Not bad at all.
Well, I love onion rings. Actually, I like onions. So we'll see what I think of these onion rings. These are good onion rings. Like the kind of onion rings you get at your favorite old drive-in restaurant. They're great, they're delicious, I love these. The one downer I'm having with this is that when we got the fries, they weren't hot. They're still tasty, they're still crunchy, and they survived being not warm better than most fries, but they would have been a lot better if they'd been piping hot.
Welcome to the Orange Parking Garage at Disney Springs.
The real reason we're here is for the next installment of our barbecue comparison. We're going to go to the Polite Pig.
We've already done Regal Eagle and Flametree. We're hoping we have saved the best for last. We hear good things about Polite Pig, so let's go give it a try.
Yeah, I haven't had good, really fabulous barbecue in Orlando since we moved here. Some of it's been pretty good, but I'm hoping for even better today. So we could try everything. We got the butcher board.
Had a half chicken, their barbecue cheddar sausage. It came with pulled pork, brisket, and then we added ribs. And it wasn't extra cost, but we had to try the ribs, and man, I'm glad we did. $7 got us 2 big meaty ribs, and they were phenomenal.
They really were. It also came with waffle fries and beans.
Well, it comes with slaw, and then you choose 2 sides. They have a long list of sides, but when we try barbecue, we always need to try the beans and fries, because that's the classic. So that's what we did.
Everything was just really good. The chicken, the half chicken, it's a little small.
Very small. I think it would be a squab, but they say it's chicken, and it tastes like chicken, so it's just a really little chicken.
But it's really juicy and delicious. Even the white meat was good.
It was delicious. The sauces were okay, but we didn't really need the sauce, so it's okay.
No, the sauce that comes on it is just great. The ribs were good, had a nice smoke ring, not overcooked.
There is a major problem with Polite Pig, though. They use coffee rub on their brisket.
And Elizabeth is allergic to coffee.
Thanks a lot, guys. I did get a little bite out of the middle, decided I could probably risk it. I didn't see any rub at all, and it shouldn't be. It's just whether or not it's been sliced through and it happens to catch some. It was delicious, wonderful brisket. So I really wish they'd get rid of that coffee rub.
The brisket, I got to eat the brisket, and it was delightful. The sausage, well, it's sausage. The beans were a little cumin forward, but I really enjoyed them.
They're not my favorite. I definitely like Jack Stack Barbecue in Kansas City. They have a more molasses-based sweet with a lot of brisket, which I guess is good that these didn't have brisket in them, because I wouldn't be able to eat those either. But I think next time I wouldn't choose the beans. I'd probably try one of their other sides, like maybe the mac and cheese or potato salad if it's another hot day like today.
And I've heard really good things about the roasted Brussels sprouts, so I want to try that.
Yes, roasted Brussels sprouts at a barbecue joint. Go figure.
The pulled pork, wow, is it good.
It's very tasty. It's awfully salty, but it was very, very tasty. That one did need a little bit of sauce just to help cut the salt. On the other hand, they also sell bourbon drinks, and that'll cut the salt for you too.
I got a Manhattan. It was really good and very bourbon-y.
Well, it should be. That's a Manhattan.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Their special seasonal drink today was a peach bourbon lemonade slushy. Oh, that was tasty and perfect for a hot day today.
The waffle fries were crispy and delicious and seasoned.
They season with their rub, so they definitely have a barbecue flavor. Very, very nice.
They say that they keep their smoker running 24 hours a day because of the volume that they do. You know, if you run out of barbecue, you can't just go in and throw on another piece.
No, when it's over, so you gotta keep it going, and it looks like they figured that out.
All in all, we really liked the Polite Pig.
We had a wonderful meal there, everything tasty, great service. We've heard sometimes the service is spotty. It was not today.
Oh yeah, our server, Jeremy, was just fabulous. And he came over, talked to us. Whenever we wanted something, all we had to do was think about it. We didn't have to say anything. He was there, but he wasn't hovering over the table.
No.
You couldn't have asked for better service.
Now that's something too, is you're gonna come in and go, oh, it's a counter service. What are you talking about? You walk in, there's no reservations. You walk in and stand in line, you place your order. They give you one of those trackers, a buzzer, and then you go sit down. All the tables have reserved signs on them. That means it's reserved until you get your tracker. You're not supposed to just go sit at a table while somebody else is in line. That's not nice. So that's what the reserved means.
When we got to our table, I thought, okay, I'll go take some pictures around here until our food gets here. I couldn't even get the camera out before they came with our tray.
Drinks came first, and about 30 seconds later, here came the tray of food. So they're very quick, which again, if they're all on the smokers, all I gotta do is slice off what needs to be sliced or pull a spoonful of pulled pork out or whatever it is. So it's all basically ready. You just have to find your seat and sit down, and here comes your food. So counter service, but with service at the table. You do your tip at the beginning because that's when you pay. So I wish they had a different way to do that, because we might have given a little bit more. I went with the conservative 18% because I didn't know how much our server would do. I didn't know how good they were going to be.
Yeah, you usually tip on how good the service is. You couldn't tell if you hadn't had any service.
No, and they all split. The people who work the counter plus the people who actually work the tables split the tips, and so that was kind of my other thing was, well, I don't know how, you know, are these people going to go out to the tables later too? So, like I said, I went kind of conservative with the 18%, which is one of the ones on the screen. You just push a button. And now I kind of wish I'd done a little more because Jeremy was spot on.
Yeah, if we had been leaving a tip after the meal, we would have left more.
Well, that was surprisingly yummy.
That was really good. I think I have finally found a really good barbecue restaurant here in Orlando. So that's the Polite Pig.
Absolutely scrumptious, even for Kansas City barbecue fans.
So here's what we've discovered.
We have taken weeks to do this because we didn't want to have barbecue 3 times a day. And
It wouldn't be terrible, but we can't do it. We get full too much.
barbecue is pretty filling stuff. We have actually had to make notes to remind ourselves of some of this, but it was really easy to rank these restaurants.
It was no trouble at all.
Now,
coming in at number 3.
Miles behind the others, just so you know.
Behind. This is not a great restaurant.
No.
Is the Regal Eagle.
Regal Eagle Smokehouse in Epcot. It's the American Adventure counter service restaurant now. Took over from the Liberty Inn, which was just your basic hot dogs and chicken sandwiches.
Which wasn't much to write home about either.
No, so this is not a good location for restaurants. Now, I can tell you that just today, DFB posted on Instagram about how delicious Regal Eagle is, and I had to go in and say, no, that's not barbecue, don't go.
I don't know. It's certainly not what we encountered. The food wasn't very good. I don't care if I ever go back there again.
No, I'm not planning on going back. Somebody would have to be insistent that they had to try a Regal Eagle, and I don't know why you would. It's loud. It's small portions for the price you pay.
It's not very tasty.
No, the meat is very nearly inedible. It's dry. There's no flavor but smoke, and sometimes not even much of that. The onion rings are good. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you the onion rings are good. The fries aren't too bad.
They're Disney fries, so
they're Disney fries.
But if you want onion rings in Epcot, maybe that's not a bad idea. Regal Eagle, get your onion rings, come back out to Black and Hunt, get a beer. You'd probably be okay with that. But don't buy meat.
And you're not going in for the decor.
No.
It's pretty forgettable.
It's barely Muppets. So,
they had such an opportunity with the Muppets to really trick it out and make it nice, and they didn't.
They didn't, so just don't.
No, don't.
Just don't.
Okay,
Number
coming in
two.
at number 2, and way above
Regal Eagle. More theme park though. Flametree BBQ in Animal Kingdom. Not bad.
Surprisingly not bad. The food was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The brisket even had a smoke ring.
Had a smoke ring. The chicken wasn't too dry, which is always a tough thing with chicken when you smoke it. It gets dry easily.
I wish they had given me a different portion of the chicken, so you pay your money and you take your chances.
Yep, he got white meat, and that's always the driest, of course. But again, nice smoky flavor, decent, a little dry, but not inedible.
No, not at all.
Sauce is basic, but it's fine. It's a fine compliment. The baked beans are, they say they have brisket in them. I didn't really find much, but again, they were fine.
But there was meat in them.
There was meat in them. So
only outdoor seating.
But it's Flametree seating.
It's really nice. It's down there by the lake. The theming on the pagodas, it's covered. It's beautiful. It's just if you're going to eat outdoors at Disney, that's probably one of the best spots.
It is. It's actually always quite cool. The pavilions do have fans. It's all shaded. I will see people take their trays from the front and cross the street and sit on a stone wall because they don't realize that there is gorgeous seating back behind the restaurant, and there's a lot of it. Just curve around to the left after you get your food and go pick out a pretty table with a pretty view and listen to people scream on Mount Everest.
And you don't have to eat on top of a trash can.
No.
Miles above both of these restaurants, not even close, is the Polite Pig.
Polite Pig in Disney Springs. We've been hearing good things about it for years, but when they first opened, everybody raved about one thing on the menu, their Brussels sprouts. And we both looked at each other and said, a smokehouse that's their best thing is Brussels sprouts?
Now don't get me wrong, I like Brussels sprouts, but
is it really a ringing endorsement of the smoked meat?
No.
So we kind of stayed away from it. But finally decided this was it. We needed to try these different places, and Polite Pig has just continued to be well reviewed.
And you're about to get another one of those well reviewed because wow, it's really good, even on Kansas City standards.
We were super impressed. Beautiful smoke ring on the brisket. The ribs are gorgeous.
Oh, the ribs were good.
The pulled pork is salty but very flavorful. Not too dry. The chicken was good, although small.
The bourbon wasn't awful.
The bourbon was very good. They have a bourbon bar. And actually Polite Pig has a bourbon bar, but they also have mixed cocktails on tap. So you're gonna have like a rum and coke, they have a grapefruit margarita, vodka lemonade, all those are on tap. So they're pre-mixed, they're ready to go. And sometimes you might be worried they wouldn't have much flavor. They were very flavorful. His Manhattan was like, it's supposed to be bourbon forward, I'm not sure where the vermouth was.
I don't know, but it was awfully tasty. The service really rocked. The food came to our table very quickly. All we had to do was think about something, and it showed up.
Yes, Jeremy was fantastic.
Jeremy
We saw
was
other
really good.
servers really hooking it. So just an all-around very pleasant experience. It was not cheap.
No, it
The
wasn't.
butcher board was $44, and then it's another $7 to add 2 ribs onto that. But they are big, meaty ribs.
It was only 2 ribs, but it felt bigger.
It felt bigger. They were large ribs. Now that we've tried everything, we probably wouldn't have to pay that much again. But again, that's $44 for 2 people.
Yeah, we
So
split
it's
it.
not that bad, really, when you look at it, when you think about it.
Not on Disney prices.
No. And of course, if you don't buy the bourbon, then you're...
If you don't get alcohol, it's going to be a lot cheaper.
There are regular cocktails all run $11 each. If you want to go fancy, they have very fancy bourbon flights. Take a look. Don't pay attention to the My Disney Experience menu because that one's been out of date for about 5 years at Polite Pig. We don't know why they can't update the prices on there, but they're wrong. They are about $4 to $5 cheaper on most things. So go to Polite Pig itself, and all the menu there, of course, is updated by them regularly. So you also get if they've changed any dishes or they have a new cocktail, which they did. That is definitely a tip there, is to go there instead of My Disney Experience, because I was a little surprised when I saw the prices today.
The Polite Pig is a fabulous place. I really like it. I want to go back. I'm going to save up for it because it's not cheap. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Follow us on Instagram at OurLifeGo. We have a Facebook page, Our Life on the Go. And with that said, I'm Art.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this is Our Life on the Go.